Hi guys, my name's Barry and welcome back to the channel. I thought I would do another trailer breakdown for the what we could call the teaser trailer for Scream 7 because I have watched it lots more times since after my trailer breakdown, and there's a few things in there that I've noticed after watching it over and over and over again, and there's even some clues as to possible motives behind the Ghostface killings. We'll start off with the first thing that I noticed, and that is the registration plate, the license plate on this couple's car is blurred out. Now, I don't know why that's blurred out, but it has to be intentional. So it's possible that one of these two characters are maybe related to maybe the Macker family. I don't know if they've went there because they're going to stay in the Airbnb. They could be part of the Macker family or they could be part of someone else's family, but I don't know why that's blurred out. If you press play and fast forward and rewind it, you can see that that's intentionally blurred out. I don't know why, but I noticed that the Woodsboro Murders by Gail Weathers is there in the little plaque. Next up, we've got this image here. Now, he's lying down next to what we can assume is fake blood, where he's going, bleh. But who's to say that that's fake blood? It's possibly real blood. And if it is real blood, maybe other people have died in that house just before they arrived. This part kind of got me the first time, but if you watch this part back carefully, you will see that this is a different scene to the part where her partner got a fright as well. Now, it seems like both of them got a fright in the same manner, whereas I think maybe he got the fright first and then she went back in, got a fright again, and then Ghostface came in behind her. So I think that's two different scenes. This is the one where he got the fright the first time, and also if you look on the wall next to him, it says Liv's name there. So that's probably where Liv died in Scream 5. I can't make that post-it note out. I never read it the first time, but it says Lenny something tour maybe. So it's maybe the Lenny something tour. I don't know, but maybe we've got a character called Lenny. Another blatantly obvious thing that I completely missed the first time around is we're looking at Sidney Prescott, looking at a house across the road and looking at the press, etc. But if you look behind her, there are people there over a body with a sheet over it. So if there's any bodies in front of her, there's also bodies behind her as well, which makes me think there's maybe a mini massacre in that scene. If you look closely at Tatum's poster behind her, it says My Villain, and then below it, it says Time Heals, Then Kills. Is that telling us something? I think we can also safely say that Tatum's got a boyfriend and her boyfriend's name is Ben, because if you look closely at the board, you can see her name there, Tatum, and you can also see the name Ben. Could Ben be a suspect? Who knows? Something that a lot of people pointed out, I might as well mention it here, is McKenna Grace is wearing a plaid skirt, and we all know that people who tend to wear plaid, especially blue plaid, end up being a killer. I'm not saying that she's going to be a killer, but it's a good sign. I also thought that McKenna Grace was going to be playing a character at the beginning who would probably die fast, but she seems like she could be one of the main characters, so I wouldn't rule her out. I mentioned in my first breakdown that Mark Evans was a police officer, and people tried to correct me and tell me that he wasn't a police officer, he was a mall cop. It just looks like a police officer's uniform, but you can clearly see it says police on his arm, so he's definitely a police officer in that little town. You can see that he's got a bandage or a plaster on his eyebrow there, and I know that Ghostface gets kicked around quite a lot, so I wouldn't rule him out as being one of the Ghostface killers as well. However, in this scene, he's leaning over something. I don't know if it's a body or he's trying to hide evidence, but you can see there's someone coming out of the darkness, which is another Ghostface. Could we see a Ghostface versus Ghostface? Whether or not we get a Ghostface versus Ghostface, we can clearly see that Mark, or someone again in a police's uniform, is being stabbed through possibly the heart. So whoever that is, I think it's Mark, is going to die here. But one of my big things about this trailer that I was thinking about is Mark's name is Mark Evans. Okay, and if you remember Maureen Evans from Scream 2, and you remember the rules of Scream 2 where the killers are copycatting, taking victims with similar names as victims from Scream 1, we could be seeing something very similar to that in Scream 7, and I will go into that even further because it's not just Mark Evans with the name Evans that we see somebody else's name, and this is it. Again, it could be just a pure coincidence here, but you can see it says E. Cooper. Is that E. Cooper Avenue or East Cooper? But if you remember, Casey Cooper, CC Cooper. It's strange that we have two surnames that feature in Scream 2, a movie that has a copycat killer taking out people with the same names as victims from the first movie. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. Some people pointed out to me that it says November here on the board, so that has to be November 2026. Not necessarily. It could be set in November 26. It could be set in November 2025. It might not be set in November at all. This could be a board that's not been changed for a few months. So it might be December, January, February. It might be February 2026 when the movie comes out. Who knows? But it's not for definite that it's 2026 because it doesn't say anywhere that I can see 2026. So take that with a grain of salt. This one here, I still don't know who this is because you can't really get a good look at their face. They haven't been shown in the trailer anyway until this scene, but you see there's a body behind them and that looks like one of Tatum's friends behind, lying down where she was hiding from Ghostface at the bar. If that's the case, then she looks dead. The small snippet clip at the very end when you hear Stu's voice kind of confirms that Mark, whether he dies or not, Mark's definitely getting stabbed anyway because you can see the blood on the knife there and that's the exact same scene as when Mark is lying down being stabbed. So this kind of confirms that. And finally, a lot of people said to me that they think that this scene here where the Stu Macher's house is in flames is not at the same time as the events of the start of the trailer with the couple that are going into the house. But that's kind of debunked there. When you look at the far right bottom corner, you can see their vehicle is still there. So it might not be at the exact same time, but I've got a funny feeling that it's the exact same night. So I don't think this is a flashback. I don't think this is set at the end of the movie. This is going to be at the same time as that couple get into the house, being killed by Ghostface or Ghostfaces, and Ghostface coming out. So I think that's going to be the start of the movie. So that is everything else that I didn't notice the first time and nobody else that I've seen has spoken about. But I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is those surnames, Mark Evans and the Cooper Street or the Cooper Avenue that they're on. CC Cooper, Maureen Evans, Cooper Avenue, Mark Evans. It's just too much of a coincidence for it to be just a simple coincidence. And with Kevin Williamson coming back and helping with the writing for this movie, I wouldn't put it past them to go back to the rules of Scream 2.
Well, if I'm a suspect, you're a suspect. You have a point.
So that's me finally done with the breakdown of this trailer. If there is anything else that I noticed later on, I'll probably do another video, but I don't think I will. I think I went through it with a fine tooth comb and found everything that I wanted to find and found all the theories that I want to really discuss. But what about you guys? Is there anything else that you've noticed that I haven't spoken about in this video or my first breakdown video? Or is there something there that you didn't notice that I've spoken about that you think is quite interesting? As always, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you soon.
Be right back!
What are you waiting for, huh?
Coming to get you, Barbara.
Ever played Skin the Cat?
Someone's in the back!